Good morning, guys. Welcome to Hannah's Backyard. So today I figured I'd bring you along while I weed the garden. I had an hour in the morning to kill before I had to go to work, so out I went. It's about 75 degrees with dew points at 68. So it's a good muggy morning. Not a lot of fun, but it had to be done. So right now I'm on the onions, pulling all the weeds, trying to get in between. I planted them really close this year, so not the best, but for using the hoe, but I got it. Not a big deal. Just finishing up here. Run the hoe through. And done. Now I'm on to the next section. This is pretty much my radishes, okra, there's some Swiss chard. I pulled out that sunflower, didn't need it. It was just in the way. My radishes are pretty much done, so I'm going to probably pull them and replant some more. I got 3 rows of carrots there that I'm weeding. They're doing really well. My lettuce, we're eating that quite a bit out of the garden. Almost every night we're having salads. And then I just got some tomatoes and a couple other things back there. And they're doing really good. They're really starting to take root and grow. So a little bit more weeding and hoeing. And then we're on to the next section, which is the tomatoes and peppers. So I did end up adding a liquid fertilizer to these last weekend, and I think it helped a lot, especially weed-wise. We had a lot of growth around the peppers, and I think it was the food, but they're doing really well despite the weeds. So here it is. I'm just finishing up. I'm starting to run out of time. This had taken an hour.
Whew, okay, so thanks for hanging out with me. I got half of the garden done. It's super humid today. Luckily it's cloudy, and it's not too hot yet. But like I said, I got half of it done, and I gotta go to work. That took me an hour to do half, so I let it go a little too long this time. And this was pretty tedious. Everything's still pretty small, so you gotta weed between everything. But I'm really happy with how things are starting to look. And now this week with the heat, I'm even more excited to actually get some growth. We've been cutting a lot of lettuce. My radishes are pretty much almost done. I got a couple cabbages that I probably could cut soon if I really wanted to. Zucchini's looking pretty good. My cucumbers are not doing very well this year. I keep thinking I'm going to buy some because the ones I started from seed just aren't really doing much. But I started them from seed in the ground, so they should be, ready to go just like the zucchini. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. But anyway, that's the update this week. And yeah, so if you see the garden's half, actually I think I did the garden tour yesterday before I weeded it. So you'll probably just see that instead of me going through it again. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again on the next one.
Good morning and welcome to Hannah's Backyard. Here is an update on the garden. These are the potatoes. I've hilled them once. I should have hilled them more than once. But now they're like super big, so I don't know. I'll see if I can get out here and do it. But I don't like talking about it because I don't want to jinx things. But the best year so far for the potatoes. I'm out here pretty diligently looking for the nasty little bugs, and I'm not seeing any. So that's good. That's interesting. I wonder what that's going on with that. But they're starting to flower, and they're probably 3 feet high. This is the brassica tunnel. We have broccoli and cauliflower on this side, Brussels sprouts in the back, and then kale up here. It's looking really good. I have to weed in here again, but oh, there's my pruners. That's dazzling blue kale, and the dinosaur kale is that last one, and then there's red Russian, and then those are other Brussels sprouts. But yeah, so very minimal bug damage, and they just look super healthy, so I'm excited about that. This is the first set of corn that I planted. It is knee high, maybe a little bit above, and it's not even 4th of July. No. So I got that in really nice and early. The zucchini's coming along. These are honeycomb cherry tomatoes, and they're really starting to grow. I pruned them pretty heavily, and now we're getting some good growth on them. Those are the green zebras. They're not doing quite as well. And I got some cabbage inside the trellis this year, which I've never done this, but I'm glad I did, because it really, look at all that wasted space I had. And then cucumbers, which I'm having really bad luck with this year, but they're very slow. So I still am tempted to maybe go buy some, but I think I'm not going to be able to find any. But there's 5 there. And this is my zucchini patch. I'm not sure exactly what happened to these ones, but I ended up putting a nasturtium there. And so far we're doing decent bug-wise on these as well. This is my first trellis of tomatoes, and I mean they're growing slowly. And then these are the hot peppers. I got a weed around them. So they're doing fairly decent as well. Another row of tomatoes. I just have a little bit of leaf curl this year. And I've never had that really. I mean, I've had it occasionally, but it's like they're all different varieties doing it. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But peppers are starting to look like they're taking, you know, they're not as stressed looking. Little. We've still had cool weather. This week's going to be hot, so I'm expecting a lot of growth this week. These are all the sweet peppers, and then another row of tomatoes. And like I said, I heavily pruned them, so they're kind of looking a little rough. I think I am going to get rid of this. And then more tomatoes here, some cilantro. And then this is my celery patch. It's doing okay. Something got it at the early stage, and now I had a net around it, so now they've grown again. And then I got the row of Swiss chard. Over here I got some carrots. That's supposed to be row carrots too. I have to keep watering it, and hopefully that will start growing. So because I got 2 rows, and then this is my lettuce. I've been cutting it quite a bit, like just as leaf lettuce, and washing it, cleaning it, putting it in the fridge so we can use it. My 2 rows of radishes, they're pretty much done now. I gotta finish picking them. This is all romaine, so I'm gonna start thinning that as I need it. Some basil. This is more kale. This is basically my chicken kale out here. I give it to my chickens. And then I have cabbages, the Copenhagen cabbages in this little hoop. This here is okra, and I think I'm finally getting some new growth on it. The deer ate the leaves off this, but it's coming back. They're coming back. And then I have a giant, oh, what is it called? I can't remember the name, but another Swiss chard over there. And that I think is gonna have to leave too. And then over here I have all my onions, which are doing really good. All started from seed except for those 2 rows, but the ones I started from seed are now surpassing the ones I bought. And then I got my second set of corn here, and then this is a row of canna lilies, so they're gonna look real nice. Yeah, I do have some watermelon on this trellis here, so hopefully these are they're yellow watermelon. So, and then another tomato. So that's it so far. Slow progress because it's been a cool summer so far, but like I said, we're getting a week of really warm weather, so I think that might change it. I did put a little bit of vegetables in this thing as a raised bed. I got a Swiss chard. These are some pink, I'm not sure, these flowers are pink. Maybe some strawberries. Some fennel. Just a little bit of a salad mix. I thought this was a spinach. I haven't eaten it or anything. It's kind of thick. More fennel. And I do have some sweet peas back here climbing, and then a dinosaur kale. And back here, we did cut this in half because we're working on getting rid of this.
but I had extra stuff and I needed somewhere to put it. So I do have to do a little bit of weeding back here. But I have some zinnias here. These are asters, calendula, bachelor buttons, and this is some dill. These are all weeds. The loofah, I mean, it's alive, but I'm not really thinking it's gonna do too much. I didn't harden it off as well as I should have, and I probably should have up-potted it a lot sooner. Put some marigolds here just because I don't think the loofah is gonna do anything. These are some onions here. Hollyhocks, the dwarf hollyhocks are in there. They were eaten by a rabbit and now they're coming back. More bachelor buttons. I got some watermelon here. Marigolds in the middle. Couple pumpkins there that I gotta work on. Like I said, it's gotta weed everything. And then out here I have 6. They're like they're a watermelon, the mystery seeds from M.I. Gardner. So there's one and there's one. And I got 2 more here. And then these are my peanuts. I don't know. They're kind of making a comeback now. They're pretty hard to see. We'll see what happens. It hasn't been warm enough for them, is what I'm thinking. And I got some chamomile here that's getting overrun by this comfrey plant. This thing's huge. And then I got a row of carnations here that I got to weed around. So everything's there. It's coming.